A little bit of tea to kind of start us out. Oh my goodness, that looks fantastic. When it comes to, thank you so much. We're going to talk a little bit about security clearances, okay? And what you can expect when it comes to getting a security clearance and how important that is for working overseas and why it's important, okay? After years of military contracting overseas, and I'm getting ready to retire, I want to inspire some of you to try this out, this lifestyle. See what you can explore, see what you can find out about yourself. Try something different than just working in your hometown. Go overseas, explore the world, and find out something about yourself. First thing you need to remember is if you're working for a government job back in the United States, you might only need a security clearance if you're working in certain IT fields and things like that. But if you're going to go overseas, it's going to be different because these host countries that are giving you a visa to enter their country, they want to know your background. They want to know who they're allowing into their country. So some of the things that they think about is, what is this person's criminal record? Okay, they want to know a full criminal record background on you. And the easiest way to do that is before you enter the country, the United States does a security clearance on you, even just a secret level, okay? So let me give you an idea of what that's gonna be, because it's gonna play a role as to whether or not you can work overseas in a contractor position. First thing you need to think about is, do you have a criminal record? I mean, you cannot even get into Canada if you have a DUI. You can't even go to Canada. Okay, so you're certainly not going to be able to get into Middle Eastern and Asian countries, all right? You need to have a clean criminal record. That's first and foremost. Next thing you need to think about is, do you have any major debt? Okay, if you have outstanding debt, debts that you haven't paid, if you have had situations that did not get cleared up where collection agencies had to come after you, that's going to be a big red flag on any type of security clearance, okay? Another one is going to be, do you have any sort of organizations that you're a member of, any type of a radical group or anything like that? Anything that you subscribe to, something like this, a group or something that you follow or something that you participate in. You don't want that organization to in any way make comments that is along the lines of overthrowing the government, basically. Okay, you can't be a member of a radical organization. So you need to think long term about those types of things. Do you have any type of history of violence? Now let me explain what that means. Do you have any workplace violence issues? Okay. Do you have any domestic violence issues? Okay. This is on top of a criminal record. Do you have any workplace or do you have any domestic violence issues against you? That is going to play against you being able to get a security clearance even at the secret level, the first level. Okay. Next is going to be, can you pass a urinalysis? All right. Can you pass a urinalysis? Can you continually pass a urinalysis if you were on a random sort of setup? When you get overseas, you're not always on a random urinalysis setup, but it really depends. If you're carrying, for whatever reason, if you're carrying a firearm, then you will be on a random setup. But if you're not, then it might just be just for the initial employment or for the initial secret clearance, you would have to get a urinalysis done. Can you pass that? Do you have any prior drug use? That also needs to be mentioned, okay? By the way, that's not 100% that that's going to keep you from getting secret clearance per se, but it could, okay? It's just something to think about. If you have prior drug use or a history of drug use in your past or whatever the case might be. Do you have a DUI situation? It's very big right now that alcohol-related incidents, especially DUIs, that will keep you from getting a secret clearance, okay? Another thing to think about is that your family and your friends will be interviewed by the government, probably someone that works for the government. will come out and they will interview you, and they will also interview your close family, and they will interview your close friends as well. It's a character assessment, okay? And you need to think about that as well. That's going to be part of the investigation into your secret clearance. If you look at that rundown that I just gave you and you say to yourself, I think I'm good to go on all that, the reality is you probably will be able to pass a secret clearance, because the idea of getting a secret clearance is not to keep you from getting employment. The government needs good employees, and the government needs employees overseas. But those that I just went down are going to be the guidelines in order to get that secret clearance approved, okay? And if you feel by listening to that list that you're probably okay, the reality is you probably are okay, and you probably will get a secret clearance, okay? If you feel that there's one or two incidents in there that maybe could keep you from getting a secret clearance, my recommendation to you is to see if you can get certain things expunged from your record. That's one thing. That helps. Another thing you can think about is what sort of situations are like debt issues. Can you get these things reversed, and can you get out of that? But I don't want it to keep you from trying. I want you to still move forward and try to get a secret clearance, even if you have one item on that list that you think is going to be an issue, because you never know. And I don't want you to miss out on an employment opportunity. It's one of those things like, they always say that if you get no as an answer, you're just back where you started. You might as well try, right? And just think about that, okay? So I hope this has been a good rundown of what you need basically to think about when you're gonna go for that security clearance in order to get overseas and work pretty much in any contracting job, especially for an IT contracting job, but really any, all right? All right, and we will talk to you again.